Alrighty, what is happening, people?
Here we go. Talk it up.
Everything has led to this moment.
Right here, right now.
You've made it to the playoffs, and now you need to make the right decisions. Well, we're going to do our absolute best to steer you in the right direction. Do us a little favor and hit that like button as the stream begins. Simple way for you to help support this channel. Now, we are going to be answering questions all the way up until kickoff. We'll go from top to bottom. Super chats will skip the line, and for those people who donate, we will prioritize those questions. All right, let's start the stream off with a couple super chats from Football de Noche. The first one here says Raiders, Texans, or Bears defense this week only. You know, it's funny, Football de Noche, because I was looking at my own home league, Superflex league, and I had the Texans. I saw the Raiders on the waiver wire, and what I did is I decided to pick up the Raiders and play them over the Texans defense this week. Texans are a fine matchup, but if they don't have CJ Stroud, I'm a little bit concerned about what that offense is going to look like, meaning maybe Derrick Henry does end up having a game, and you know the defense in Houston isn't as attractive there, whereas with the Raiders, no Justin Herbert, no Keenan Allen, obviously Mike Williams is gone, so I'm leaning the Raiders between those two names. However, if you also have the Bears as an option, they play Cleveland. I wouldn't do that. So it would be the Raiders for me. It would be the Raiders for me.
Yeah, it would be the Raiders for me as well. A lot of good things going on, like you said. No Justin Herbert, no Keenan Allen. Really, it kind of feels like it's a one-dimensional type of team, but they do get Josh Palmer. You have Quentin Johnson, Austin Eckler, but the expectation is that Max Crosby should take over in this game here. So I completely agree with you. Thank you so much for the super chat there.
By the way, just a heads up, if anyone is spamming the chat, you will be put in timeout. Just keep in mind, you know, we're trying our best here, but look at all the questions before yours, and just keep in mind, we're going in order. If you do want a question answered straight away, super chat is an option, okay? So be careful. If we see some spamming, there will be people putting timeout. Let's respect everyone's time. All right, David is the next question here, and he is a super chat, so thank you for the donation, man. It has half PPR. Gibbs, Rachaad White, Kamara, or Eckler need 3, so he needs 3 between all of those names, Badaki, and it's a half PPR league. I'm definitely starting Gibbs against Denver, Rachaad White against the Packers I'm starting, and I'm starting Kamara, so I guess that leaves Eckler out for me.
Yeah, it's hard to sit any of these guys. I would say all of these guys should be started. All these guys have pretty decent matchups. I would say outside of Rachaad White, but Rachaad White has been getting all those opportunities in the air.
Yeah,
I'm gonna rock with you there.
Either. It's kind of middle of the pack, but yeah, I hear you.
I'm gonna rock with you there. Gibbs, Rachaad White, and Kamara there.
I think if it was full PPR, I'd be a little bit more interested in Eckler. But I think he's really going to get his work through the air tonight. So that's just how I'm predicting it, at least. All right, and the other super chat that is there for now is Julian. Thank you for the donation, Julian. Start 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. Tua, Kyler. Let's start there. Tua or Kyler. If Tua has Tyreek Hill, then I'm going to go Tua. And if not, I think I'll go Kyler.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, I'm going to with Hill as well.
And then we have to start 2 running backs between Gibbs, Kyren, Zeke. So we're definitely starting Gibbs and Kyren. 2 wide receivers, Pittman, Devontae Adams. We'll start both of those guys. I'm going to flex Jaden Reed. And at the tight end spot, I think between McBride and Kincaid, I'm going to go McBride. But they're back-to-back in my rankings. It's very, very close. I just think McBride is going to be the only reliable option for Kyler in this game. I don't expect a touchdown, but I expect, you know, a lot of targets.
Yeah, I'm going McBride there as well. I would say it's really close between those two, but McBride should, like you said, should need him, or Kyler Murray should need him. We did get a couple more super chats here. English is hard for me this morning. Keep it moving. Here we go. Superflex, second language. I'm ESL, guys. I don't know if you know that. Superflex, quarterback, full PPR, Flacco or Fields. I know Fields is going against the Cleveland Browns, but I am still going Justin Fields here.
Yeah, be Justin for me too. I mean, look, Flacco has had some really good games, But Justin Fields just has that rushing upside. I mean, he can be a top 12 running quarterback on his, with his feet alone, with his rushing ability alone. So that's where we 100%. Go. Keaton, what's up, my man? Keaton says, full PPR, I have Swift, Eckler, and Mostert, and have my flex full. I'm going to start Eckler tonight, but I don't know if I start Swift or Mostert. I mean, this is just my personal opinion, Badaki. You might see this differently, but I would start Swift and Mostert over Eckler personally. I love Swift's matchup this week versus the Seattle Seahawks. That's a very, very good matchup for your running backs. I know he's not been good as of late, but they give up the 4th most points when you adjust for schedule. And as far as Eckler, I think he's going to be fine, but I just think Swift has higher upside in that matchup. There should be more points. This is a very low over-under. Actually, I think this is the lowest over-under in like a decade tonight, which who knows? Like maybe it doesn't matter, right?
I would say this. I think Tyreek Hill really makes this offense, and I know the Jets do give up a good amount of points to the running back position, but if Tyreek Hill is not on that field, I respectfully to Jalen Waddle, I just feel like they come one-dimensional. It's because that secondary, right? The secondary is so good.
Does it change anything for you that Devon Achane hasn't practiced at all this week? Because it's probably Mostert touching the ball 25 times.
Sure, but like, are they actually moving the ball down the field?
Well, all we know is that the Jets are actually a good matchup. I mean, that's where you attack this defense. It's not through the air. So even if those guys were healthy, it might be tough. But Jets give up the 5th most points to running backs when you adjust for schedule. It's a very tough call. I don't think either of us could say we absolutely know that our answer is correct. But for me, I'm going Mostert. I'm going Swift. And, Mostert, we're talking about the RB2 on the year, I mean, we keep waiting for him to just, get injured or to stop producing, and he doesn't stop. So, it'll be Mostert for me there.
Yeah, I hear you. I'll go Eckler and Swift, but I can understand how that is a tough call. We appreciate all the super chats. We haven't even gotten to the first chat on the regular question. So, guys, we're probably going to be here for a while. Remember, we are going to be live until the start or kickoff.
Yeah.
So we may not get to every single question. So if there's a really big one, throw a super chat in. If not, we are going in order here. I don't know what you can see.
The first question that I can see that's non-super chat is from Visalia Drag Racing. Says, who would you start? Stack or separate Justin Fields and DJ Moore, or Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton, or separate them? I mean, yeah. Unless it's like best ball, I'm not too concerned about a stack. I would just start who I perceive to be the best players, and that would be Fields and DJ Moore.
Moore. Yeah, even though
I'm not doing it because it's a stack. They're just the highest ranked players in my rankings.
100%. Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton do have good matchups, but still I'm going to be going with Justin Fields there.
We did just get a super chat from Bruce, so Bruce is going to skip the line. Full PPR, please rank Hopkins, Wilson, Rice, London at wide receiver. Okay, so assuming that's Garrett Wilson, right? London would be last for me. I know he's coming off a good game, but I know for sure London would be last. Rice goes up against New England. This would be Rice, Garrett Wilson, Hopkins, and then London for me.
And then London. For me, it'll be Wilson, Rice, Hopkins, London. Hopkins does have a good upside play coming into this week. So keep that in mind. And then Henry or White. I think we'll both go Rachaad White.
Yeah, I'm just thinking through again, like I said earlier, the Texans are, if you own Derrick Henry, you are praying that CJ Stroud is not playing in this game. And if CJ Stroud doesn't play, that Texans offense looks completely different. And I think Derrick Henry becomes a much more reliable option. So how I would play it is if CJ Stroud's not out there, I'm probably going to put Derrick Henry inside my top 10. Again,
I can see that.
Thinking game script, and obviously this defense has been helped out by the offense this year. If you're not going to have the offensive rookie of the year, we got Derrick Henry, who scored 2 touchdowns in 3 straight games. So if that's the case, I would go Durka Henry, but obviously we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. So
can respect it. Back to the top here. Next question is John. Is Jared Goff or Trevor Lawrence a better start this week? 6-point passing touchdown. For me, Let me just double check for me here. I am still going Jared Goff over Trevor Lawrence this week, personally.
It is Goff for me as well. It's close though.
Yeah, I like
And
Goff at home as well, by the way. I know
it's
he's
at
playing the
home.
Broncos.
Baltimore
Um,
is just not ideal, and Trevor looked fine last week, but we know he's still dealing with that ankle injury. I mean, it's
Yeah.
no surprise to anyone. So that's how
Yeah.
I would play it.
100%. Shane, need a flex now with Keenan out. PPR format. Start one at flex. Zay, OBJ, Brian Robinson, Hollywood, or even Ty Chandler. Just need a really solid / high upside flex to start. For me, the first person that comes to mind personally, I don't know about you, would probably be OBJ. He is the one who's kind of been getting those high upside opportunities that you're looking for here, Shane. You know,
Yeah, 10 targets last week versus the Rams.
Scored a
The
touchdown.
Jags is a very, very good matchup. Jags secondary is not good. In fact, they are the 4th best matchup in fantasy, giving up 41 PPR points per game. So OBJ would be my pick. I would say Ty Chandler's a close second, guys, because Alexander Madison is not going to
Not
play
playing.
this week. So he should see a high amount of volume. So yeah, that's how I would answer that one.
yeah. Jimmy T,
We
Laporta,
got
Higgins.
a super chat from
Oh,
RM.
okay.
Sorry, so
We'll come
get
back to Jimmy.
We'll get to RM straight away here. He says, "Hey
Yeah.
guys, Pacheco and Olave both questionable. If they do not play, both are flex. Running back, do I play Zeke, Chandler, Foreman, Gibson? Okay, so I think Olave plays. I don't believe Pacheco will. Let's see if we
So
have
you
an
need-
update on that. He remained sidelined. He didn't practice on Thursday. I
not
don't
looking
think
good already.
he's going to play.
I don't think he practiced all this week either, so
Yeah.
looking like he is not going to play.
I would say Olave's probably out there. But if both of them miss, it would be Zeke for me, and then it would be Ty Chandler.
At the running back position,
I think we're flexing both, right? These are both flexes, I think is what his question
Right.
said. So
for me, this would
it
be
would be
Curtis
Zeke and
Samuel.
Ty.
I don't know how you feel about that. I like Curtis Samuel. I would do Zeke and Curtis Samuel.
You know, I don't mind Curtis Samuel. I'm just thinking how inconsistent he has been the entire year. You know, you got so many games under 10 points. You got some games over 10, and some really good performances. It's just, I struggle to trust really any weapons there because it's so confusing.
I
So
get it.
that's why I would lean Ty, because I know he's going to touch the ball 15 plus times.
I get you. Hopefully that helps RN. Uncle Rico, appreciate you, brother. I bet you I can throw this ball over the
How much you
mountain.
want to bet? How much you want to back and throw the football
much you
right
wanna
over the mountains? Coach put me
It,
in
it,
the
it,
fourth
it
quarter.
actually, when he did that scene, it actually felt real. Like he was like,
Yeah.
I actually believe him.
Yeah.
Anyways, good actor.
Yeah.
PPR 0.75 tight end premium, pick 3 in the flex. Chuba, Chandler, Myers, Sutton, Goddard, Gibson. Pick
Sutton
3
straight
in
away.
the flex.
Sutton's
Yeah.
in. Goddard's interesting with the premium. Who do they play this week? I'm trying to remember.
They play the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right.
On Monday night, that's where I would be going personally. I would do Sutton, Dallas, Goddard there, and it's between Chuba and Chandler for me.
I think I go
um,
Chandler. Yeah,
you
I'll
know,
go Chandler.
I'm gonna go Chuba. You know, with all those opportunities he's been getting, last 2 games, 25 touches in week 13, 23 touches in New Orleans. I know Atlanta is technically not the best matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're a bottom 12 matchup, but they're not awful. Chuba plays the Bengals, and the Bengals are middle of the pack as well, so you're not really getting an advantage necessarily either way.
Chuba's playing at home as well. I don't know. I like that thought process a little bit better.
As crazy as it sounds, I know the Vikings just scored 3 points. I just trust that offense a little bit more. You know
I
what I
understand.
mean? Like,
I understand.
it sounds crazy to say, but I have a little more trust in that offense.
Yeah.
If you were saying Chuba or Zamir White tonight, I'd say Chuba though.
Thank you so much, Uncle Rico. We appreciate you and your service. FC Eagles pick 1 for the flex. Clyde, OBJ, Ty Chandler, half PPR. I'm going OBJ here still.
Yeah, I go OBJ as well.
Yeah.
Again, I like Chandler because of the volume, but obviously, tough call there. Good luck,
Yeah.
man. And can I just say, by the way, we're going to continue answering questions. If you guys have a gut feeling, do not go against your gut. We're going to tell you what we would do. Keep in mind, we do not have a crystal ball. There's a reason that they play the game. Remember, last week on Thursday Night Football, no one expected the Patriots to win that game, and they won the game pretty easily, right? So keep in mind, football is unpredictable. We're going to tell you exactly what we would do if we were in your position, based on some good information, some good backing, but of course there's a reason they play the game. So
some sources.
The reason I say that is because this week onwards, when it's in the playoffs, if you have a gut feeling, we would rather you go with your gut. But of course, always come to the stream and see if we have a different opinion. Of course, we'd love to offer our thoughts. Jake is the next question here in a super chat. Full PPR, flex one, Myers, Thielen, Kincaid, JSN. I really like JSN this week, dude. I don't know where you stand.
Well, he is going against the best matchup for the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
I do have him as a high upside play at a video you guys are going to be seeing coming out tomorrow morning for you guys. I like him this week as well, but I actually just really like Jacoby Myers a lot better.
Okay.
Playing at home, the Chargers, I mean, they have been a little bit better against the pass, but so far this year they've been atrocious against the pass, currently giving up 34.8 fantasy points per game.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, do you go with the number 3 guy or do you go with the number 2 guy?
See, I don't think that's actually true anymore because Tyler Lockett has not been out targeting JSN.
Sure.
In the last couple of weeks, both weeks in a row, he's out targeted Tyler Lockett, and I'm more thinking about this narrative. I think all of these receivers are necessary in this game. The most difficult rush defense in the NFL is the Eagles. You got Zach Charbonnet, Ken Walker, both not really healthy. You have an offense that has been a very good offense in the last couple of years, but has been smacked in the mouth 2 weeks in a row against a defense that is very bad. So the way I'm thinking about that game in Seattle is the Eagles are going to be pounding. I mean, it's going to be tough for the Seahawks to keep up, which means I think they're going to have to throw the ball 40-plus times against a very good secondary. JSN is going to be my answer there, but I get it.
I would say this. I think if Geno plays, even though we saw a decent game with Drew Lock here in this past week, I'm happy to lean JSN, but I'm gonna go Jacoby here tonight.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
If JSN, if that touchdown counts, does that change anything for you from that last week?
Or
the Thursday night versus Dallas?
Versus Dallas. No, because we've seen that upside already multiple times with Jacoby Myers.
Sure.
Like Jacoby Myers had multiple games like that with that touchdown.
No, that's fair. I just think about where these teams are now. I'm not anti Jacoby Myers because I do think it's a good matchup. Someone's got to score. I'm just concerned that this team just scored 3 points, or actually, this team just scored 0 points. So it's difficult. And both are fine plays. It's very close. I'll lean JSN. You go Jacoby.
No worries.
Ethan is the next super chat in order. He says Mahomes or Stafford. Mahomes has been scaring him.
This is a good question because both of these guys have great matchups. In my opinion, Washington is terrible in the secondary here. And New England has been struggling. This should be a get right game for Mahomes. I'm still going Matthew Stafford with all that being said, which sounds crazy. But I think Mahomes should also have a good game. I don't think there's a wrong answer here.
I'm also going Matthew Stafford, and it has everything to do with the matchup. Washington is awful. They are awful across the board defensively. It's one of the worst defenses we've seen in a long time. Everyone should eat in that game. Space and Field, what's up, my man? He says the Twins and I are tuning in. Skull love the channel, boys. You love to hear it. Space and Field, shout out to the family over there. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Ready to watch football. I'm not going to say it's a good football game, but there is football on tonight. We'll see how it goes. But shout out to Space and Field and the family. We appreciate you. And hey, is Nick Mullins the answer? That's what we have to ask ourselves.
We're about to find out here, Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy T is the next question in order. Keep in mind, guys, super chats do skip the line, but Jimmy's the next one in order. Laporta, Higgins, Hubbard, Christian Watson, or Ford for my flex. This would be Laporta for me.
Agreed.
Hall or Swift. Yeah,
For me,
this would still be Breece Hall. I definitely love Swift this week, but Breece Hall is averaging wide receiver target numbers right now, so can't sit Breece. Mark and Souls says, half PPR Addison or Curtis Samuel, or flex one for Schultz, Gus Edwards, or Spears. So Jefferson is playing. That could help Addison, honestly. He had a lot of touchdowns when Jefferson was playing, but do I trust Addison or Curtis Samuel?
I trust Curtis Samuel more. It sounds crazy to say.
Yeah, I don't.
I trust Curtis Samuel because of the
Addison for me.
I said that I don't trust Addison as a talent. I just don't trust Nick Mullins. Like, I don't know if I can start Addison with confidence with Nick Mullins. And if you tell me it was Josh Dobbs, I may like still believe in him because of what we've seen so far all this year. But I'm going with Curtis Samuel.
I actually think, this might be crazy to say, I think Nick Mullins might be an upgrade for the pass catchers from what we've seen recently. But I definitely hear where you're coming from. I don't have any confidence in these Commanders to be predictable in any way. That's my concern. Eric is the next question in order. He says, what's up, fellas? First round bye, looking for a running back stash that could pay off week 16 and 17. Currently holding down Daddle and Mason. One more spot. Who would you add? Clyde, Abdullah, Taylor, Sanders, or Carter? I'll be honest, I really do not see a scenario in which any of those guys are starting for you in the playoffs. But
Jet McKinnon.
Yeah, Jet. But if I had to choose one of these names, it would probably be... Jesus. Help us. Give us direction, Lord. I don't freaking know, dude. I genuinely don't think... Honestly, even if the guys in front of them went down, I do not think I start any of those names with confidence, dude. I mean, I would rather pick up a defense, that is good in week 16 and 17. But if I had to choose between those names, it'd probably be Sanders. Yeah, Miles.
I'm going Miles if Chuba gets injured.
Do I like Kansas State University? I spent, around age 10 to 18 in Missouri. But I'm not a big Kansas State guy. I don't hate them. Don't love them. Don't hate them. So yeah, not really a strong opinion either way. We did get a super chat from Senor Rojo. Need two flexes: Zamir, Warren, or D-Hop.
Warren and D-Hop for me. I'm not trusting Zamir White personally. And I think we're gonna get a lot of those questions because I kind of been looking down. I don't like Zamir. Not that I don't like Zamir White this week. I just can't trust him. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I get that.
For a lot of people, I think it just depends on who you have. If you're telling me Zamir White or a Miles Sanders, I'll go Zamir. But
yeah,
I think I'm starting everyone else over Zamir White coming into this week.
That's a really, really tough call. And I think I'm with you because Jalen faces the Colts, which is a very good matchup. The issue is they're just not utilizing Jalen the way all of us thought they would when they got rid of Matt Canada. It's like Matt Canada maybe was helping him in some weird way, but yeah, I'm with you. That's a tough call, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, next question in order from top to bottom. Keep in mind a super chat skips the line, but the next question in order is from Hello Tez. What's up, guys? Thanks for all the fantasy advice. You guys got me into the playoffs. Love to hear that, man. Congrats. I was wondering if I should start Foreman or Warren this week. Also, fingers crossed that Tyreek plays. I do think Tyreek plays. There's no reason to practice him. We all know what he's capable of. Deonta Foreman last week, 55% of the snaps, 14 total touches. Meanwhile, Warren kind of similar usage. I would go Warren just because the matchup is a little bit better.
Agreed. Colts currently give up the most points when you look at scheduled adjusted to the running back position. So I'll definitely do that as well. Choose two running backs: Devon, Cook, Monty, or Kenneth Walker. It'll be Monty and
this
Cook.
Is Achane if he plays for me. Otherwise, It is Cook.
Cook, exactly, and that's what I was going to say. Would you start Raiders defense tonight or Saints? I personally be going Raiders.
Saints play the Giants.
Tommy Cutlets is moving the ball, so I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tommy Cutlers has done it 3 games in a row.
I know. It's like everyone
you know.
picked up these defenses to face the Giants in the playoffs, and now I still think Tommy could fall apart, but
Agreed. We need to wait.
Right now, it looks like he's pretty competent. So, yeah, I think I will go Raiders too. That's a tough call. Am I crazy for benching Mahomes for Stafford? No, I don't think you are. Carlos says, "Hey guys, sending thanks from Chicago. Almost all my teams became questionable for some reason. Is Amari Cooper a good replacement if Jaden Reed ends up being out?" Yes. Yeah, he's a good option. Jaden Reed was limited in back-to-back practices, but guys, limited is much better than a DNP. You know.
Yeah.
You could be limited all week and still play. So keep that in mind.
Just keeping these guys as fresh as possible, even though they're probably already dealing with injuries. Ethan, full PPR, Pat the Dragon or Logan Thomas? I go Pat the Dragon here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really love any of these options, but I'll go Pat as well. We did just get a super chat from Keep Moving. 3 wide receivers, full PPR: Diggs, Samuel, Adams, Chase. I'm assuming that's Debo when we talk about that. So I know Diggs has been bad. I'm still putting him in against Dallas.
Agreed.
I think you have to start Debo. And between Adams and Jamar, I think I'm going Jamar. I do love Devontae Adams this week, but I just don't think he has that. Like, Jamar Chase can catch a screen pass for 80 yards and a touchdown. You know, Devontae, we're gonna need volume, so it would be
Agreed.
Jamar.
And that's exactly where I would go there as well. Appreciate you keeping moving. Next question in order here: Hopkins or DK from Raiders X? For me, this is a good question because DK has kind of been putting up the numbers these last couple weeks.
It's DK for me. I do like Hopkins. I told you guys to start him last week. That worked out well, but it's not that I don't like the matchup this week. It's just I love DK's matchup versus the Eagles. They're going to have to throw the ball. He's going to need to be an important part of that offense. Best matchup for wide receivers in fantasy is the Eagles. I'm going DK there.
Agreed. Hopkins should have a high upside coming into this. Just Mixer Green, what is the best way to connect with you guys about full lineup advice for teams for the playoffs?
Well, that's a great segue.
Go for it.
Because we actually just had a huge refresh of our Flock Fantasy website.
Look it up. It looks fantastic.
It looks awesome, man. It looks really, really good. We're happy. We've been waiting for this update. On the Flock Fantasy website, we offer something called the Fantasy Hotline. I'm going to go ahead and paste a link in the chat. You can check that out, Mr. Green. But we'll go ahead and just quickly show you guys what the site looks like. Essentially, the Fantasy Hotline is a benefit that you get when you sign up with our promo code LAND to the Flock Fantasy website. Make sure you choose the Mother Flocker tier. Again, if you use our code LAND, you're going to get 30% off your membership. But the Fantasy Hotline is essentially a direct DM to myself and Badaki over on Discord. Send a question through. We always answer within 24 hours. You know, we probably answer like 20 to 50 questions a day over on the Discord DMs, and that's just from people who support us. It's probably our best feature that really doesn't get talked about enough. But again, Fantasy Hotline is available if you sign up with our promo code LAND to the Flock Fantasy website. Make sure you choose the Mother Flocker tier. But we just got a huge update over on the site with these graphics. Not only do you get the Fantasy Hotline, you're going to get access to my weekly rankings, which include start sits, each position. It's consistently updated. It's a great resource for you. You also get access to our rest of season rankings for redrafts, which include community rankings. You can add, an expert if you want to see my individual rankings. You can sort by what the community thinks versus the consensus from experts versus my opinion. You can see all that there. You also get dynasty rankings for Superflex, one quarterback. You get a trade calculator, which I wholeheartedly believe is the best calculator in the industry. Let's say Tyreek Hill here. Obviously, look, no one's going to take Jamar Chase over Tyreek Hill right now. Although this is dynasty, I have it in. But you guys get the deal there. But yeah, look, we believe that this is the best value for your money and you also are supporting us financially. So again, Fantasy Hotline's available. If you're in Dynasty, you get a Dynasty team review. You get to be a part of our Dynasty trade show. So much available to you in this package. So Mr. Green just gave us a little opportunity to do a little plug, but that's how you would get that.
Little plug. We
unlocked.
appreciate you, Mr. Green.
And feel free to DM us if you guys end up having any questions about that.
Absolutely. And if you want that website or that link is in the description below as well. Mr. Green, Devon or Williams this week for a flex. It'll be Devon if he plays. If not, it will be, I'm assuming, Javonte Williams there. Yeah. He says, I have Lamar, Debo, and CMC. Should I be worried about them getting benched the last week of the year during the championships? Well, week 18, if you have playoffs in week 18, we highly recommend that you don't.
Yeah. No one should be playing fantasy championships in week 18. It makes no sense. There are some teams who rest good players. What I would say, Badaki, is it's so close for the first seed in both conferences. I'd be shocked if anyone's actively sitting players, because right now, I mean, you look at the playoffs, it's so tight across the board. But we did get a super chat from Keep Moving, so he's going to skip the line. Actually, sorry, that was we
had that one already. 39 RY or 369. What's up, guys? Defenses this week: Raiders versus Chargers, Titans. For me, it would be the Raiders versus the Chargers out of all those guys.
I agree. Tough call, but I agree. Should I drop Jaden Reed for Odell? No, I would rock with Reed right now. I mean, he looks like a league winner, man. And he gets to play the Bucks this week. I mean, someone dreamed up the last couple weeks as a schedule for him. Slat says, feels good to have a bye week. Also, where would y'all rank Debo rest of season? Y'all think he keeps this up or comes back down to earth soon? I would say I'm not expecting... Like, right now, we are getting 2022 Debo Samuel. I still think there will be some inconsistencies. I still think there will be games where it's Kittle or it's Ayuk, and you could be disappointed. But right now, based off what we're seeing, it's hard to not play this guy in every format. I'd rank him top 10 rest of season.
Yeah.
And then he says, where would y'all rank Eckler for the playoffs? He would be like top 20. If you're in a standard league, I think you would be losing if you have Eckler.
I would agree.
But half PPR, I'd say top 24. Full PPR, top 20. Ulysses, what's up, man? He says, start Zay or Singletary. I'm going Zay.
I'm going Zay as well.
One for the flex, Montgomery, Smith, Flowers, or Chandler. Yeah, that's a tough call, man. I mean, I feel like Monty, Smith, and Flowers are all players that you got to start. I think we're going to go Montgomery, though, versus the Broncos. That's a bad rushing defense, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Monty as well. FC Eagles pick one. Clyde, OBJ,
we
Chandler.
entered this one. I think it was a super chat, actually.
I think. Ike Walker, yo, what's up? How you doing? He said, can you trust Devontae tonight? What do you think his numbers are going to end up looking like? Go Raiders. One of my biggest arguments this year was going to be inconsistency. Wasn't expecting all this quarterback play. Him kind of rotating all these quarterbacks. But he's going to get peppered with targets. I mean, 10 targets last week, called 7 out of 10. You have to hope for that. I think there's a safe floor there of him getting at least double-digit points. You hope he finds the end zone for those crazy, crazy games.
Yeah, I'd be starting him. I for sure be starting him. I doubt people have a better option. Kyra says, I blame Jordan Love for losing me a bye week. I'll need 2 flexes. Nico, Cooper, DeAndre Swift, and D-Hop. Well, I don't know that Nico Collins is going to play.
Yeah, Nico, I don't think has practice this week.
I don't think he plays.
Yeah, so I don't think he's going to play either. So for me, it will be Swift and DeAndre Hopkins or Cooper Kupp. But for me, this will be...
Is that... No, I don't think that's Cooper Kupp. I thought that would be Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. Sorry, Amari Cooper. You're right.
It would be Amari Cooper for me there.
I'll go DeAndre Hopkins here.
Mm-hmm.
Ham, pick 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex, Kupp, Smith, Reed, Etienne. So let's start at the running back position here. Or 2 wide receivers, excuse me. Kupp, Smith, and Reed. It will be Cooper Kupp and Devonta Smith for me.
Yeah, I agree.
two running backs, Etienne and Monty. Those would be it for me, and then Reed would be at the flex. So sit everyone besides Zeke. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Or start everyone besides Zeke.
Yeah. iPhoenix says 3 questions. I'm sorry, but do you feel comfortable starting Flacco if Stroud doesn't play? Do I feel comfortable? I mean, how comfortable do you feel in those sweaters that make you itch? I mean, like you can wear it. Is it comfortable? Is it ideal? No, but you can wear it. It keeps you warm.
Keeps you warm. Mm-hmm.
Also need one more running back if Robinson doesn't play. Spears or Chase Brown. It'd be Spears for me.
Yeah.
Lastly, pick
agreed.
one. Cooper or Downs. I'll go Amari Cooper.
That'll be Amari as well.
Chris says 1 point PPR, need a second flex between Dotson, Wandale, and Michael Wilson. I mean, yeah.
This is not exciting whatsoever.
No consistency with any of these names.
I don't even think Michael Wilson is practicing still. Is he?
He is.
Okay, is he?
The thing with Michael Wilson. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna go just based off what I've seen recently from these players. We haven't seen much from Dotson. We haven't seen much from Michael Wilson. The only one you have seen has been Wandale.
Yeah.
I can't give you an argument why you should start Jahan Dotson. I can't give you an argument why you should start Michael Wilson, but I can give you an argument why you can start Wandale Robinson.
It would not surprise me at all if Michael Wilson comes out and plays this week and has a great connection from day one with Kyler Murray. Like, that just wouldn't surprise me. But as of right now, that's more of something you'd rather have seen first. And we have seen Wandale at least be competent. So it would be Wandale. Browns or Raiders, D? I'll go Browns there.
Agreed.
Styles says, what up, gang? We concerned about Achane's future outlook with his injuries or still a buy? I think he's still a buy. It depends on what that's going to cost you. But I think what we can all agree on is when Achane plays, I mean, there's only a handful of running backs you'd rather have. And there's only a couple running backs who are averaging more points per game. So it depends on what it would cost. But specifically like this year, Badaki, a late first, I can't think of a running back that is a... Like, would you rather have Achane or Benson right now? Without draft capital, it's hard to say.
Yeah, without draft
capital, do you know what I mean?
Like, landing spot. Like,
I think you could probably send an early second, and it's a very good class, but I think it'd be worth it for Achane.
Yeah, I can agree. Ravens or Falcons? I'm still going Ravens, but Falcons do have a good opportunity against the Panthers this week.
I'd agree.
We did it to Julian Sean. Pick 2, Goff, Howell, and Lawrence. It'll be Goff and Howell, actually. Howell does have a better matchup, in my opinion, when it goes to
Yeah,
Rams.
I agree. That's a tough call, though. Those guys, none of them really stand out for me, but I agree. Caesar says bench one. My God.
Gosh. How
are you supposed to choose?
All these guys should be started, Caesar. I mean, if this is full PPR, I am sitting...
All these guys catch passes.
All these guys catch passes.
You can't sit Bijan against the Panthers. You can't sit Gibbs against the Broncos. You can't sit Alvin Kamara in a PPR format. Can you really sit Breece Hall, though? I think I'm sitting Gibbs. That's crazy.
Because he's the only one that is kind of splitting, quote unquote, splitting.
That is crazy.
Opportunity. Love or Hal this week?
You don't get to get away without answering that question.
I did. I said I'll go with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
I said I'll sit Gibbs because he's the only one splitting opportunities.
Okay. All right. That's a tough call.
Yeah. Love or Hal here. I'm gonna go Sam Howell.
Okay, it would be Jordan Love for me. Bucks secondary is toast, and he's been pretty good. So both have been good, to be fair. I worry more about the Rams secondary. Deontay Johnson, Lockett, or Brown. Brown being surely not. He's not asking about AJ Brown, right? Who would that be?
I'm not sure. AJ Brown, Chase Brown, Hollywood Brown, maybe Hollywood.
Maybe Hollywood.
Deontay, Addison, Lockett. For me, this would be Deontay, Addison, Lockett, or Brown. I mean, all these guys are just in question. You know, like there's no confidence I have in any of these guys.
Yeah, no, same. It would be Lockett and Deontay for me, but I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I'll go Hollywood.
Okay. Flacco or Fields? I think we already answered that one, actually. Turducken, what's
Yeah.
up, man? Hey, big fellas. All right, I added the big. Full PPR.
What's going on?
Deontay, McKinnon, Tajay, or Hollywood?
Pick one. I'm going Deontay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going Deontay. Derrick Henry or Tony Pollard here. I'm going Tony. But I like the narrative that you said earlier. If
100%.
you know,
I agree with
Raiders,
you.
we
It
answered that.
would be Tony unless CJ Stroud doesn't play. Browns or Raiders? We said Browns earlier.
Yeah, start one.
We did just get some super chats, Badaki. Sorry.
Okay.
So
No, it's okay. We'll
GV
come back to
donated, so we're gonna get to his question straight away. GV says Lockett or Reed. This would be Reed for me.
Reed.
Absolutely
Agreed.
love Reed's matchup. He gets to face the Bucks, who are the second best matchup for your fantasy wide receiver when you adjust for schedule, giving up 43 PPR points per game, and probably no Christian Watson. Reed should dominate again. Half PPR Pittsburgh or Colts defense? Pittsburgh or Colts?
Pittsburgh plays the Colts. Oh wait, they play each other. Well, that's great.
I think I'm going Indianapolis. I know that sounds crazy. It's just thinking about turnovers.
I think about turnovers, but I think about sacks. I think about both, right? Like,
That's fair.
I feel like TJ Watt was cleared. He can come out. He can sack Gardner Minshew. I'll go Steelers just based off of defensive line. And we've seen those turnovers as well for the Steelers in the past.
In 2 of the last 3 games, the Colts have had 6 sacks in both in 2 of those 3 games. Look, what the heck? The Colts are the 4th ranked defense this year in fantasy. What?
Are they?
That's crazy. I did not expect that. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm just is this crazy to say? I think the Colts are a better team right now. Is that crazy to say?
I think it's crazy, personally, but like,
It feels crazy, but I think it's true.
Yeah.
Rest of the season, I don't really know. It'll be every week. You'll have to decide between them, but I'd say Colts personally.
yeah. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Raiders, Saints, Cowboys defense. We'll still go Cowboys.
Yeah.
And Henry, White, and Pollard. Same argument here. I mean, I'm assuming you choose one. I'm going Tony Pollard against the Bills. But once again, if CJ Stroud doesn't play, Derrick Henry is a good start here.
Yeah, it'd be Rashad White for me right now. But if CJ Stroud doesn't play, Henry.
Joel, Zamir White or Jerome Ford will be Jerome Ford for me.
That's a tough call. Do we know? So here's the issue. I think Ford's going to play.
I think he is going to play. He has been limited this week.
But it's not like a good injury for someone who you're relying on carrying the ball. I'm just not sure, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? A wrist injury for a running back. I mean, that's a pretty important part of playing running back is having those strong hands.
I mean, look, I hear you. I'm just going to go Jerome Ford. I can't trust Zamir White. Look, this could be one of those games where, like, Zamir White can have his Ezekiel Elliott game.
Totally.
2 weeks ago. Like, that could be it.
Yeah.
No one could predict it. I'm still going to go Jerome Ford.
No, I agree with you. It's just there's a narrative that, I'm spinning in my own head thinking about it. But I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand. Dan. Don. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Don, super chat. Adams, Eckler, Mostert, Monty, Gibbs, Kyron for 2 running back slots and a flex and a full PPR. First of all, we appreciate the super chat here.
Yeah.
So 2 running backs will be Kyron, excuse me, and all these guys should be started.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna go Kyler and the Lions running backs. My narrative that I'm spinning in my head about Mostert is that if Devon doesn't play and Tyreek Hill doesn't play, they're one-dimensional. With all due respect to Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, no, I agree with that answer. Kyron, Monty, Gibbs.
Yeah. So
At least you know whoever's going off for the Lions, you're starting that player, and the other player's going to have a fine floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's tough, man. That sounds like a smaller league. If you're playing in smaller leagues just for next year, I would say make your starting lineups a lot bigger, because it makes it so hard to differentiate between good teams and just because everyone has a good team. Do you know what I mean? So.
Understand. Okay, back to the top here. We appreciate all the super chats. Remember, guys, we will be live only up until kickoff. So if you do have any urgent super or questions, all you have to do is drop a super chat. If not, we are going in order. Ari start one, Javonte Williams or Sutton. I think we would both go Cortland Sutton here.
Yep.
Kincaid, Likely, or Taysom Hill. This one will be Kincaid for me.
It'd be Kincaid for me as well. He was limited, but if Kincaid's not available, it'd be Likely for me.
Okay. With Josh Jacobs injured, I have either Jerome Ford and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. What do you think?
I'll go Ford.
I will go Jerome Ford. Kenneth Walker, Zeke, Pollard start 2. It will be Pollard and I'm going Walker still.
I think that's Waller. Oh, Walker and Waller.
Kenneth Walker, yeah.
Yeah, this would be Zeke for me. I get it. Like, Kenneth Walker is clearly a better player. He's a better talent. But Zeke has no competition. Walker's got to deal with Charbonnet, and he's playing the Eagles, which is one of the worst matchups. So that's a tough call, but I'm gonna play Zeke over Walker this week. Sounds insane.
I understand.
COVID-19, 2 questions, 12-man PPR. Who should I start at quarterback, Fields or Goff? Be Fields for me.
Fields.
I don't know. What was the second
Agreed.
question? It'll be coming up, I'm sure. XZap says, last flex spot, do I start Palmer, Chandler, Demarcus Robinson? Ty Chandler for me.
Wait, what? Where'd you go? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ty Chandler. Yeah, I would agree.
No worries. Hollywood Brown, OBJ, Zay Jones, Brian Robinson Jr.
Need a flex. This would be OBJ.
Yeah.
OBJ or Hollywood, but OBJ
OBJ
is
for
just
me too.
it's just been really good as of late. Hey, should I start Zay Jones, Pop Douglas, or Rashid Shaheed, wide receiver 3? Thought about Shaheed if Olave is out.
I think it's crazy to say, but I think it's actually Zay Jones. I mean, he had 14 targets last week with no Christian Kirk. So yeah, I think I'm going following the targets.
Isn't that crazy? My man had more freaking targets than
Calvin. Calvin had 13,
Calvin.
but Calvin also had, I think, 2 rushing attempts. It was pretty even between those two.
I'll rock with you there. Jaden Reed or Devonta Smith? I'm going Devonta Smith.
So,
well, here we go.
if Christian Watson doesn't play, this would be Jaden Reed for me.
He didn't practice. He says unlikely
Yeah.
to practice Friday, so they're already looking at tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he didn't even practice today.
I would say Reed. I mean, he's
been going off.
He's the
I
offense
agree.
right now.
Yeah. He's getting
We got a
opportunities.
super chat from Beast. He says Ritter, Wilson, or Kyler Murray in the playoffs. I'll go Kyler Murray. Not excited about this matchup. Clearly, it's not a good matchup, but his rushing upside. I mean, we know at any moment he can put up 50 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Keep in mind, Josh Dobbs played this Niners defense in week 4, and he had 26 fantasy points in a 6-point passing touchdown format. Now, that defense has gotten a lot better since then, so I don't expect Kyler to do that. They're back to being one of the best defenses in the NFL, but I just think the rushing upside gives you a floor that you want.
Yeah, I would agree. Thank you so much for the super chat. Back to the top here. I think the next one is Jake. Happy almost Friday, fellas. Decimated last week's loss. Right, Jacobs, Collins, and Stroud. Do you guys think
tough.
Stroud or Collins will play this week?
I don't think so, man.
I don't think they will.
I do not think so.
Normally
Specifically,
you'll hear
Collins.
good things about them.
I think Stroud could clear concussion protocol and just play, but as far as Collins goes, I don't think he will. His is like an injury that will limit you physically.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you just need one flex. He says Thielen, Myers, or grab JSN. I mean, we kind of had this conversation earlier. I would go Myers. I'm assuming you would go JSN.
I would go JSN. Love him this week, but they are back to back in my rankings between those two names. It's just thinking about that game script, and also I want Monday Night Football. I want the rookie wide receiver that I love. Relying on him, you know. I need 10 points, JSN. I need 10. Give me 10, you know. Outlaw
Then
says
you just hate. Then you resent JSN, and you don't want that.
I'll resent myself if that happens, which I'm already doing enough anyway. Outlaw says I lost Herbert. Only options are O'Connell, Jimmy G, Locke, and Ritter. Yeah, I mean that's awful. I think I'd go Ritter though.
I'm going Ritter as well, playing the Panthers. I know it's technically not a good matchup, but still, I'm going against the Panthers.
COVID-19 says, second question, OBJ, Pickens, or Elijah? I'm going OBJ.
Agreed.
Zachary says, between Zeke and Rice, who would you start? This would be Rice for me, but it's close.
Agreed.
Ty Chandler or Clyde, I'm going Ty.
Agreed.
Nico if he plays, or Ty Chandler? Nico if he plays, but I think you're going to end up starting Ty. Mm-hmm. Zach Moss or Zeke?
I'll go Zach Moss this week.
Yeah, I'll go Zach Moss against the Steelers as well. What's up, Tyler? He says, need help for my flex, Warren or Ty Chandler or JSN. I'll go JSN if there's a PPR. It's PPR, yeah. I'll go JSN.
I'll go Warren.
So this next question, I'm trying to figure out if it's Devin Singletary or if that's Terry McLaurin.
I think it's like, I think it could be like Singletary
or Foreman.
No, like Devin Singletary, Terry McLaurin, or Foreman.
Oh, geez.
That could be an option as well. Here. There is different variations. I'm going Terry out of all those options.
Yes, but let's assume it's Singletary and Foreman. How would that change your answer?
Singletary and Foreman, I would be going Devin Singletary. My expectation is that maybe what's his name? Davis Mills dumps the ball off potentially a little bit more.
Okay, I'm fine with that. It's not fun. Trey McBride or Addison? I'll go Trey McBride there.
Agreed. Dan
Marino. Man, come on the show, Dan. I didn't know Dan is playing fantasy football.
Appreciate you, Dan.
The greatest quarterback to never win a Super Bowl.
No, Dan. Don't let him say that to you. Don't let anyone.
That's a compliment.
That way.
The greatest Super Bowl, non-Super Bowl winning quarterback ever.
I bet you he would rather have that ring than be called the greatest non-Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I mean, dude's a freaking unit. Full PPR, Chase, Reed, or Garrett Wilson. Pick one. Oh, God.
I think Garrett Wilson just has a high upside with Zach Wilson. And Miami Dolphins technically are not the best when it comes down, if I'm not mistaken, to the wide receiver position.
I mean, he's going to be facing Ramsey, Xavier Howard, whichever side he goes. This is Reed for me. This is Jaden Reed.
Last time Garrett Wilson played the Miami Dolphins,
they did not have Xavier Howard or Jalen Ramsey.
He scored 17 plus fantasy points, caught 7 out of 10 opportunities and a touchdown. I think that touchdown was a last-minute touchdown, if I wasn't mistaken. It was like a garbage time touchdown, but he still does score. Anyways, I'm going Garrett Wilson, but I can understand Jaden Reed is a very close. Fernando, are we confident about Devontae Adams, or should I pick up D. Smith? If that is Devonta Smith, I personally would go Devonta Smith. I just like his quarterback play significantly better than Devontae Adams. I would agree Devontae Adams has a higher floor. We've seen the games where he can drop 22 plus points and have a day. But I mean, we've seen that with Devonta Smith at times as well. It's just been less consistent. But if you look at the last 3 games, Devonta Smith has been there. So I'm going Devonta.
You and I could both agree that we could not tell you between these names who scores more fantasy points. And I say this because ultimately it's your life on the line, Fernando. I would highly suggest that if you have a gut feeling, you follow that. These guys are in the same tier. I think Adams is the safer play. Smith is the higher upside. So depending on what you need in your matchup, look at the matchup that you have tonight. Do you need a high upside play or a safe floor? Do you need someone who's not going to blow up your week? That's Adams if you need the safe play. If you need the high floor, it's Smith. Good luck. Noah says start 2. Connor, James Cook, Mixon, and White.
Mixon and White.
Yeah, I agree. Appreciate you,
Um,
Eagles. Frostmite says
mhm.
pick 2 running backs in a flex. Eckler, Etienne, Zeke, Reed.
Eckler, Etienne, Reed.
Yeah, I agree.
For me. Outlaw, half PPR, need a flex. Already started Ridley. So you're starting Ridley. Stack. You're asking to stack Zay Jones. Alternative, Taysom, Doug Migo. No, you start Ridley and Zay Jones out of those options. Personally.
Yeah, those are just the best options. Obviously, like we mentioned earlier, go with your gut if you have a gut feeling, but we would be starting those 2 wide receivers. I mean, imagine you sit Zay Jones and he's the one who pops off. Imagine you sit Ridley and he pops off. So, yeah. Half PPR, Space and Field says, need a Keenan replacement. Do I go Ford or Deontay? Dang, I wish we saw this in his when he donated a super chat earlier. But
on Deontay.
You going Deontay?
Yeah, I just like Deontay more. I mean,
I'm fine with that.
Scored a touchdown, I think, in the past 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not perfect balls, but when it's there, yeah. Mitch Trubisky always looks at Deontay, so I'm looking for that.
Yeah. Angel says, "What's up, guys? I have Jacobs out tonight. I went ahead and scooped Zamir White. Also have Godwin with a questionable tag. My question is, should I play Warren as a sub for Jacobs and hope Godwin plays, or play Zamir?" I would personally play Zamir over Godwin. I'm not sure where you stand there, but I know Godwin is coming off an 11 target game. You could say you have no trust in Zamir. I don't know how you have any trust in Godwin either. And if he is questionable, we don't know if he's going to play. So you won't have that option to pivot if he doesn't play.
Yeah, I think you go with the options that you have already without any question marks, which is a tough one, because if I knew that Godwin was going to play, I'll play him.
Yeah.
Over I'll play Warren and then play Godwin if I knew he was going to play, but that's a risky one. User Ty Chandler or Aaron Jones. I don't think Aaron Jones plays personally.
I'll go Ty personally.
I know he was limited, but I'm going Ty as well here. Bicycle, hey guys, I got Ty Chandler off waivers this week and don't know whether or not to start him or Singletary. I will start him Ty over Singletary.
Same. Yeah, I would. It's just Singletary splitting carries.
Yeah, Superflex League, start Gardner Minshew or Derek Carr. I'm going Gardner Minshew personally.
Yep, I agree. I think we answered
that one. Bears or Raiders will be Raiders for us, Donald.
Yeah, close.
Team Kung Fu Cats, happy PR. Need 2 running backs in a flex. Do I RB2? James Conner or Ty Chandler? This one will be, gosh, that's a good question. James Conner or Ty Chandler?
Yeah, it is a good question.
I don't like James Conner's matchup. I don't like Ty Chandler's quarterback play.
Yeah. I think I still lean
James. Yeah, I'll lean tough. James as well. And Reed or Ridley?
I'll go Reed.
Agreed. Should I start Pollard or Swift? I got Kamara as my other running back there.
Oh, that's tough.
They are really close. They're in the same tier for me.
Pollard for me, but they are in the same tier.
They're in the same tier.
We got a super chat.
I'll go Pollard as well.
Okay. Fernando donated, so he's going to skip the line. Zamir tonight. Other running backs are Singletary, Spears, or Gus. How do you trust Gus anymore?
Do you trust Gus anymore? He hasn't even scored a touchdown or anything, if I'm not mistaken. Since his little hiatus.
I think if there's any PPR involved, I think I'm going Tajay. I mean, averaging 7 targets per game in the last couple weeks. He's been efficient.
In this scenario, if that narrative does go the way that we spoke about earlier with CJ Stroud not playing, I would rather go Zamir White, and I would take the opportunity.
Makes sense. If he is going to be the starter, I think that makes sense. That's a logical thing to do. The only issue is what if he's not as involved as people actually wanted him to be?
Yeah, no, I don't really know.
Yeah.
The expectation he should get. I don't know,
He
man. That's
should
tough.
get the touches, but we're also talking about an offense that just scored 0 points with Josh Jacobs. So look, I think Fernando, you got to go with your gut on that one. If it's full PPR, I think I lean Spears. If there's half or no PPR, I'll go Zamir. That's a close call. Man, how like on a scale of 1 to 10, Badaki, how would you feel starting Zamir White to start your fantasy playoffs?
That is not ideal, but
Like
that's not.
I'm
just
like
thinking
a 3, but it might be your best option.
I'm just really hoping and believing he has like an Zeke opportunity, or like at least they drive the ball down and he finds the end zone. That's what I'm truly hoping for.
Yeah.
Because once he finds the end zone, at least you have a good base, right? You have a good 6 points, and then you can just build from there early and often. And this run game or this team for the Chargers is just not. It's not there, right? Like, I will go Zamir. Appreciate the super chat. I really hope that helps. Good luck going into tonight.
He says his gut is telling him Zamir.
Yeah, I'm going Zamir as well, brother.
Go with your
good
gut.
luck. Good luck. Man.
We do wish you the best of luck because that is very difficult. Brenthi says start 2 Zeke, Moss, Hubbard, Ford.
Moss, and I will still go Ford over Zeke.
Yeah, that would be Moss and Zeke for me.
And
Aaron
Ty
Jones
Chandler
or Ty Chandler. Ty, right?
Yeah. Goddard, Pitt, likely. It will be Goddard.
I agree. We did just get a super chat from Mr. Tres5. What's up, my boys? 305 in the house.
305 in the house.
Stafford or Mahomes? 305, bro. I mean, that's LA.
No, 305 is Miami.
You're right.
Come on, brother. Pitbull, how do you know? You listen to him all the time. 305.
Oh yeah,
Miami.
Mr. 305 worldwide.
Yo, Miss Cinco, I want you to go to Publix. I want you to go to Publix and get a Publix sandwich, a chicken tender Publix sandwich. Bomb. And get some lemonade with that too, or the sweet tea.
You just became way more Brooklyn right then.
Sorry.
I don't know why. You went back to your roots and you were like, you know what? I am from Brooklyn.
Publix is a spot.
Stafford or Mahomes, by the way. I'm going Stafford.
We both said Stafford earlier, yeah, and we're gonna go with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, that's
one of the best matchups this week against the Washington Commanders.
Rizza says choose one full PPR: Samuel, Noah Brown, or Zay Jones. That'd be Zay for me.
Yeah, Zaz. No, this would be Curtis Samuel.
I know you like
me.
Curtis.
No,
I mean, what are the chances though that Curtis gets that kind of target share? A 14 target game.
I don't think Zay Jones has ever got a 14 target share in his career.
He literally just did.
I was saying, I don't think that is something I could lean on because of that. I think Curtis Samuel, from what we've seen this year, has been really successful with his target share when he is healthy.
You could also make the argument that last year without Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones was one of the best flex plays in fantasy. So you can make an argument both ways. I'm going Zay.
He actually had a 14 target game last year as well. Just looking at it, by the way. So
there you go.
I'm wrong.
Look, I mean, who knows? Honestly, who knows with that one? But it would be Zay for me.
Yeah, Zamir White or Jerome Ford. It'll be Jerome Ford.
Likely, Schultz, likely.
Yeah. Eckler or A-Chain, who's not practicing. I'm still going the Vaughn, but you might have to start Eckler because if he doesn't play, then
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't think you have the luxury of waiting, because 2 DNPs is not a good sign. He still has a chance to get a limited practice in tomorrow. There's a chance, guys, that they are just saying, you know what, Eckler, or you know what, Achan, there's no reason for you to re-injure this toe during a practice. We're going to play you. There's no reason for that to happen. But at the same time, you can't wait to see if that's the case. You got to start Eckler. Raiders or Cleveland, we'll go Cleveland. Ravens, agreed. Colts, or Denver, I'll go Ravens.
Agreed.
Samir or McLaurin, I'll go Terry.
Agreed.
Raiders, Falcons, Rams, or Ravens.
Agreed.
AGZ says, I'm playing Kyler. So how crazy is it to play Michael Wilson over DJ Moore?
Too crazy, brother.
I couldn't get on that ride with you.
That's crazy.
I couldn't join that ride with you.
You just want the stack.
It would be DJ.
You just want the stack there. Jacobs, good luck to everyone in the playoffs this week. Good luck to you. Star 2, JSN, Warren, or Gibbs will be JSN and Warren for me.
Same.
Okay, Jordan Love or T Law. This one would be Jordan Love.
For me, yeah.
Yeah. JC, pick which wide receivers to start. D Hop, Chase, Jaden Reed. This one will be.
Wait, so we can only start one?
I'm assuming.
It would be Reed for me.
Yeah, this will be Reed for me as well. I like what he's doing. Running backs, Henry, Zeke, HN, or Swift.
This would be Swift unless Stroud doesn't play, then it would be Henry.
Agreed. And pick one to flex out of those wide receivers and running back. I would go. Well, then you go. You can start Swift and Henry. And I'll go Swift and Henry. And if Devon plays, you start HN over Henry. That's what I would do. With or without.
I think.
With or without CJ.
I would actually go Chase in the flex and start either Swift or Henry again if Stroud doesn't play Henry. We did get a super chat from Joseph, so Joseph's going to skip the line here. He said Zamir White, James Conner, Najee Harris, or Ty Chandler. You have all these options. Push your decision to the weekend, my man. Do not start Zamir White with all these options. That's how I would play it personally. But at the moment, James Conner would be my number one option. Najee Harris would be a very close second. I like the way they're using him. By the end of the week, that could be my answer. And I love the matchup against the Colts. So
I would go Najee Harris off the rip. Colts currently give up the most points to the running back position, and the usage from Najee, like you said, is where you want to see there.
I think that's fair, actually. You know, the more I think about it, I think that's probably the right move.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Only a couple more minutes. We'll try and speed round through this because we're almost done. Abel, Zamir White, or Jaden Reed. Reed for us. Palmer or Gabe Davis. Urgent. I'm going
Gabe. I mean, look.
I'm going Gabe.
Make it. We have no idea. I'll be honest with you. No idea on that question, but I'll go Gabe.
Because Palmer can come in and be limited, right?
He could come in and be the number one weapon there. I mean, who knows?
Exactly.
Honestly.
Eagles kickers, Browns kicker, or Rams kicker. I'm still going Eagles. Jake Elliott personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Want Eagles, but they could blow the Hawks out of the point. Right? Yeah. No, I'm going there. Sorry, just saw the Wicks available. Wicks or Zay, or still pick up Zay. It'll be Zay. Rice or Moore.
Is that DJ Moore? I'll go DJ.
It'll be DJ Moore. If any other Moore, I'll go Rice.
Yeah.
Tender Sample for Publix is Fuego. Absolutely. I love it. Simon, Goddard, Pitts, or likely. We answer this. It'll be Goddard. Raiders defense or Eagles at Seahawks. I'm still going to Eagles.
Same.
And David C, which is the last question for tonight. Start 2, Pittman, Nico, Devonta Smith, and DK.
Pittman and
Devonta. Yeah.
And then Puka or Cup. I don't know how you choose between those names, honestly, dude. I have no idea. If anyone's telling you they know who scores more points this week, they're just lying straight to your face. Both of them are must starts. Both of them, I'd find a way to play both of them, honestly. I really
100%.
don't see a way you don't play both of them. But I guess you have to go Cup. But, man, I would want to start both of those names. Yeah. That's it for today, guys. Good luck. Go with your gut at the end of the day. Go with your gut. Good luck tonight, and hopefully you start the week off the right way. And we appreciate y'all. All love.
Love.